All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Let me in. There we go. Yes, yes, yes. All right, first things first. Who's a good boy who apparently just wants to pee on metal all the time? And the second item being, let's pray to the false god, who will not answer our prayers. Yeah, that's what I thought. Nothing. All right, let's turn these in. Yeah. Hey, Alex. So apparently there was a small fix either today, yesterday, or Monday, I guess. They apparently have fixed Maskman's and Bagman's aiming, which is nice. The gunplay is still not there, but like them fixing the whole weird bug with Maskman and Bagman's nice. I pray not for answers. I pray expecting none. I'm still waiting for a screenshot of evidence of anyone getting anything off praying. Still waiting. All right, we got this. Oh, let's get a better rig, actually. We're playing Masked Man. Hey, Duffs. 556. 500 is fine. Meds. Let me go ahead and stock up too. Let's bring a single drill, just in case. Get 5% bigger, huh? Interesting. Very interesting. Curious. Something just small enough where you can't easily see it. Convenient. Alright, got meds, I got ammo. Need quests. Yeah, bud. You can do it. Alright, there we go. Alright, we have both these. That should be good enough. Hey, Jacob. Should be like mid, like it's like mid next week, probably. I don't want to give like a firm date still this early, but like probably looking around Wednesday, give or take a day. Hey, why are you shooting? Stop shooting at me. Oh, were they shooting at you actually instead? We're just hitting B? I average, it's been a while, but like our very like first stream of the patch, we had a night shift in this map. They ruined it, Michael? Michael, no. They didn't. They couldn't. I mean, it's spooky. I mean, it plays exactly the same, right? But it's, you know, it's got lots of moms and dogs. The rain is cool too. I actually do prefer it over the day shift. Personally, like, the red's cute and all on this map, but like, it kind of gets old. It's why I do appreciate, like, while I'm not in love with the RNG of night shifts, like, only getting Ash and Mesa Eclipse ever so often does make it nice. No, it's not pitch black. It's got pretty good lighting. It's not nothing like Elephant Mausoleum. It's less of like night shift and more of just rainy times. All right, up we go. Very weird how I get like FPS drops when I like ADS here. Huh. Well, it might just be the light, actually. That makes a lot of sense, the light. Yeah, there's plenty of mothers on that map. Damn, dude. I mean, she's killable now with the railgun. Yeah, apparently they did, so you can see now that, like, we don't have that weird jump anymore with Masked Man. The ADS, the gun recoil, like, for everyone, right, is still weird. Like, there's no, like, this is just weird, but it is what it is. But it's no longer just buggy for Masked Man and Bagman, which is nice. I do hope we see some like recoil here and there and maybe some like actual sway. Not a lot, naturally, just ever so slightly. Just enough to make first shot accuracy not like a given. Especially at longer ranges. Maybe that could be a reason to like crouch, perhaps. Hold still. Less sway. Hey Noel, it's going well, thanks. I'm pretty sure it's a small mech, all things considered, right? We should eventually be seeing bigger ones. Now, if they'll actually be on the map is a different story entirely. Don't mind me, guys, just passing through. Enjoy your M16s. Ooh, I wonder if they made it where if you actually shoot someone when they're distracted, they actually aggro to you instead. I was hoping it'd be probably the entire squad, but like having at least one works out pretty well. It could be proximity based too, but that might be hard. Is that a new helmet? And here's the thing too, like, I just know there's no reason to explore these freaking skyscrapers. There's nothing in them except for maybe a container. I mean, I imagine the heavies or the titans won't fit on any map, right? Or like they'll have to be out map. Like both Scorched Enclave and Mesa have like large areas outside of the map where they could deploy them, which would work out pretty well. But like there are plenty of maps too, right, where these wouldn't work. Like I can't see it probably on Frozen Swamp. Frozen Swamp has too many trees in the way. Yeah, artillery, like there's like that area behind the Titan on Mesa. And they could replace the Titan. That could be a variant, right? Like you replace the Titan with a special. It should. I would say just Igor, try the demo. If you get okay frames in the demo, you'll get better on the actual current game. The demo is like 4 to 5 patches old at this point. You know, optimization wise. So like if you get decent to good frames in the demo, you should have plenty of good frames on the actual game itself. And the problem is too, like for some people, like what they define as good frames is like 100 plus, and what I will define as good frames is 60 plus. Like I'll generally say 30 60 is fine, anything over 60 is good, and anything less than 60 is bad, right? But some people who are like who have only played like competitive FPS games or like competitive MOBAs are really used to having insane amounts of FPS, which is just not realistic in a game like this. You know, you can easily see over 60 FPS, yes. Like, I can notice in this game when I have, like, about 100 FPS. Like, you can definitely feel it, but there's diminishing returns, right? Going from 60 to 100 is much more noticeable than going from 100 to 200, right? I mean, here's the thing, right, Abu? Are you playing top rank in matchmaking, which is global? Or are you playing top rank on the like off client servers like Faceit or back in the day ESCA? There's people who were global but would be fucking like the worst players on a platform like that. Not to diminish your accomplishments, but it's very different. And a lot of CS2 is not just like, there is aiming too, right, in CS, but a lot of it is also just putting yourself in the right spot and hitting your shots. Having higher frames can help bail you out in a situation like that, but you know, it won't save you if you just do bad things.
Wake me up in a year.
I would... Naturally, I'm not a neuroscientist or what the fuck they're called, so I can't give you critiques on if we see 60 frames or not, okay? But for just off the bullshit meter, some very simplified take of you only see 60 FPS IRL is just crazy stupid. It sounds like a game of telephone where someone eventually got to the point where they were telling some journalist how you only see 60 FPS, despite there being a lot of steps along the way to interpret it that way. Yeah, but you get more time to react, Abu, with higher frames. You will see a person a little bit quicker. Is it all that important? No, but like there was a good video too. Like Linus Tech Tips did a video on this, right? With Shroud. Go watch that. That will give you the evidence that you need is higher frames better. And TLDR, higher frames is better. There's diminishing returns, but higher frames are better. But like, going back to the point, right? Like, once you get to 60 FPS, the game feels relatively smooth, right? But like, I will notice when I have 100 frames, like on Scrapyard, right? In the last big content patch on Scrapyard, I was like, hey, this is noticeable, right? Like, I can feel that this map feels better now. Because it had that extra level of, like, smoothness to it. I think this is... Oh, we need a drill. Yeah, bring a few drills. Yeah, I would need to go do, like, look into papers and research papers. Like, I will... Just go watch LTT, right? LTT did a video on it.
I hate the surface.
Say what you will about Shroud, right? But, like, Shroud is, like, a certified gamer. When you have a pack mule Gravekeeper, you have to loot a absolute ton to fill up a pack mule. So it's better to have excess ammo than not have enough. It's gonna be so rare you actually fill up your entire pack. I think they also fixed too. I might not be in the right Masked Man skin, but they also might have fixed that black spot on Masked Man's backside. There was that weird issue in regards to like a missing texture or something like that, or some weird cloth thing going on. But we might not just have the right skin for it. Is that a medium? Yeah, it's a medium.
Everyone for themselves.
Hey, stop that. I hear you. Stop looking at me. Alright, we're good. I don't think anything yet. I imagine it's for future functionality. Sir? No. No. Alright, we're good. Oh, in regards to like 50 Beowulf or 50 BMG, I'm almost assuredly it's 50 BMG, right? I mean, it could be, I mean, we're technically using 50 BMG right now, I guess, right? But if you want to squint your eyes and call it like Beowulf or something like that, that's perfectly fine. I didn't play World War Z, no. It looked interesting to me, but like I'm kind of... I played a lot of Left 4 Dead 2 when I was younger, and I think that fulfilled all of my wanting to play zombie FPSs, or I guess co-op zombie FPSs. And TPS, FPS, essentially the same thing in this concept. I don't know. I haven't seen anyone actually... I haven't had the desire to, Reiji, and I haven't seen animals break it down. All of that is just anecdotal. Like, I haven't seen any actual evidence of it, like, causing faster or slower aggro. So I just don't know. I mean, it could be a subsonic, right? I mean, I personally think if we're considering Europa as the faction of being pragmatic, it just, like, I would think 50, right? They would need to, like, naturally make the gun heavy as shit to make the recoil not kill you. Even then. And keep in mind, too, the base magazine capacity of this thing is 8 rounds, right? So it could just be the case that this is 50 BMG, and you're not supposed to fire it any more than just semi-auto. Oh, sprinting does. No, sprinting does cause more aggression, 100%, yeah. It's almost assuredly 50 BMG, and keep in mind too, like the base Europa infantry have 8-round mags, right? So they're almost assuredly shooting in semi. It makes sense too, right? Like if your adversaries are fielding all these like war machines and like armored units and just general beefy dudes, yeah, why not bring 50 BMG and just like annihilate them? Ross, I don't think so. I think they're still in there. Oh, I mean, I believe it too, Abu, like in the sense of like those games are always fun. I played so much Left 4 Dead 2. But like it's definitely one of those games where I think I've had my fill on it, right? I'm gonna go around the XO. It's generally why I like indie games so much, or just like indie games or just like smaller studio games. It's because they generally unlike bigger studios that kind of have to rely on like known concepts, just well done. I really like the space that gets explored, that when it's just like more of these innovative or just kind of weirder concepts for gameplay patterns and loops. And sometimes there will be cases, right, where it's exceptionally well done and I will enjoy it. Like Baldur's Gate 3, for example, doesn't do anything new. It just does everything it does very well, right? And there's nothing wrong with that. There was nothing in like Baldur's Gate 3 was like, this is really innovative and pushing the envelope, right? But there was like, this is a very well done experience. Hey, Bells.
Fill those pockets quick.
Nah, from a doctrine standpoint, the only thing I think that's missing right now from Europa, from a doctrine standpoint, is just like, thanks Maverick, is where are all the M2 Brownings? There is not, Ragey. We have a quest up here. We have Scav Scrap Part 1, which can be found around here. But no, like, how do we have 50 cal scars and we have 50 cal everything, but like the key reason to use a 50 cal is just plastering M2 Brownings everywhere. They're being worked on, right, Grave? And the very early patch they released for this patch currently, they accidentally had the testing feature for grenades in, and they admitted as much, like in the Q&A too, right? In the Q&A they were saying that, like, yeah, we accidentally included our code for testing grenades in, so you guys saw a quick snippet of like us testing grenades. So it's on the way. It's just work in progress. I'm just hoping that they do have a feature, or like, so the grenade testing that we saw was throwing grenades, like you would like hold down G, it would give you the arc and you would throw it and it would release it and it'd impact and blow up immediately. So there was no fuse, there was no physics, and it was a clear lineup. I do hope they allow, like, I hope that's only part of the feature. I do want the ability to just throw grenades like a normal person, have some physics, have it bounce and then explode. Because the only problem with the testing tool we saw, which once again is a testing tool, is that you needed to have line of sight of where you wanted the grenade to land, which kind of defeats the purpose of grenades sometimes. I mean, there's definitely going to be some balancing concerns about grenades, right? In the sense of, like, if the enemies get grenades and they use grenades on you, if they all just start throwing grenades at you, it could be real scary real quick. Impact grenades are cool, but there's definitely an element of like a lot of utility of grenades comes from being able to bounce them around corners, right?
Decide what happens next.
We kind of already have that, Rue, just... Hold on, sorry. We kind of have that, like, they've talked about, too, like, when you have certain quests or go to certain maps, there will be occasionally different props that are spawned and not spawned. So, for example, in Mech Trench, you will occasionally have areas of the map that have destroyed mechs, and sometimes they won't. So there's definitely elements on maps that have that. It's not fully fledged yet. And they did talk about too in like a Q&A or two ago, I think it was 2 Q&As ago, how while they don't want to do like fully procedural maps, as in like RNG maps like an ARPG, they would want to explore at least having areas of that map or props of that map have that kind of RNG aspect to it, right? Thanks, Rem. Glad you're enjoying it. They did talk about essentially that, right? They're looking into solutions for like Gunhead's problem, right? They didn't go into details, but like it's well understood that Gundam's gonna get something along the lines in the future. I would be surprised, Grave, if we didn't eventually get multi-raid maps. Okay, we do have Water Wars. Did I... What? I didn't find the train schedule at all? Well, more containers, I guess. No, I like... It was a requested feature for Tarkov for a very long time. Let me just go. Alright, we're good. Game stop. Leave me alone. In regards to bigger maps, I would be surprised if we get any bigger maps than this for like performance reasons. But no, but like breaking them up by loading screens or essentially different maps will work well, I think. How am I on meds? I got a few left, okay. So, apparently back in the day, Elephant, Mech Trenches, and Scrapyard were all one map, but performance was awful, so they kind of had to cut them up. So, like, we're probably not going to be seeing bigger maps than, like, this map exactly. Though if they can visually break them up into loading areas, that would work, right? It just comes into clever map design. Yeah, Grave, you keep... A lot of stuff you're saying, Grave, right now are things they've touched upon for sure. Or mentioned, right, in Q&As. Like, areas flipping, like... And that's kind of what the variants are for, right? Kind of showing the different scenarios on maps, depending on who owns it. Yeah, the biggest thing I want to see, right, is I do want to see some iteration on the maps that already exist, mainly for indoor areas or underground areas, right? Now, that being said, having played around in UE5 for a bit in the last 2 weekends, I can understand why they haven't done that yet. While you can do underground areas, it doesn't seem as innately supported as it is in like making just regular kind of 2D maps, right? And when I say 2D, right, I mean like individual levels. Like this is technically one whole level, right? There's no elements that you need to worry about depth for. Because the way, like you essentially break this map into a grid and you load and unload certain tiles of that grid, but that grid is only two-dimensional, right? It doesn't consider the areas below, the areas above. I imagine there has to be a way of manually unloading areas depending on where you are height-wise, but I haven't looked into that at all. But it's probably a feature that you had to like actually do yourself and it's not naturally included in UE5. I'm not sure though. It's cool, Ragey. I enjoyed it so far. Naturally, I'm only like a thimble deep, but... Hey, no, stop that. The environmental tools do seem very cool. Stop that. Come out of mess, gotta be careful. I want to break contact here for a bit, actually. I never got into the last test. Like, I cannot... I have to play Arc Raiders. I was actually looking for it this weekend to see if I can get into it, but I didn't, so I didn't bother. But no, like, yeah. I haven't seen Arc Raiders at all, so I can't really speak on it all that much. I did see a few reactions to it. Not like reactions, but like... kind of feelings about it, right? How people were saying like, yeah, I really like it, it's cool, but I don't like the PvP in it. Which is fair, right? I definitely think there's a degree of exhaustion in PvP in those games. And that doesn't mean that it shouldn't have PvP, but that just means there's a market for games like this, right, that aren't PvP focused. in that space. Hey, Cronin. I don't know. The only thing I've noticed so far, Cronin, are those fixes. Along with the like that weird texture bug on Maskman seems to be gone on the very back, so that's nice. Oh, 100%, yeah, Grave. It seems like a game that could definitely be pre-gen'd, or like, considering the lore too of like AI fabricating bots like 3D printers, it does make a lot of sense that you could have like 3D printers going crazy underground and making things that shouldn't exist. Like, there's definitely ways where you could work in maps like that if you wanted to, but on a certain standpoint too, right? If you want to have all your maps feel bespoke, like, yeah, that would diminish that, right? There's always this kind of thing you have to keep in mind too, that this studio was founded by artists. Hey, Secretum. So like, if you've never had an artist friend, I don't want to like simplify by saying they're different, right? But just in the sense of they are generally much more concerned about how they do things as opposed to. I don't want to think. God, it's such a, what word am I looking for here, right? Let's just say that artists have a certain vibe to them, right? And a certain way they like to do things. And naturally, this is a vast generalization, right? But like, they generally want to create things, right, with their own hands. They're not engineers, right? Not methodical. Oh. All right, time to leave. I had two artist roommates. Actually, well, I had one artist roommate and I had one person who was much more of an artist. Like they were trained to become a teacher, but I think they were trying to become an art teacher, right? So my first roommate in college was a guy becoming a teacher to, I think, teach art, or either art or music. And my second roommate, much later on, was actually like going to school for art design or graphical artist. And like, I don't want to say they were quirky, but they just had they wanted things to be done a certain way, right? And they wanted to be the ones doing it. To them, the authenticity was a lot of it, right? It felt like. I don't know. I haven't talked to him in forever. Like, we were his roommates for like a year, and that was it, right? Also, I should have which one, the teacher or the artist? Man, teachers are so fucking underpaid. It's criminal. At the very least, give teachers like the daycare salary person, right? Like, at the very least, you can at least say they're doing daycare. And if you're unfamiliar with daycare costs a fuck ton. Hold on, let's see if they wait. All right, we have our tank here. Maybe they fixed the tank size in the patch. I'm sure they didn't. I mean, forced blood, or just in the sense of they realized they needed to make money? There is always that point in life, right, where you have to bite your lip and be like, yeah, I need to make money. It is what it is. It is so funny, Blood, too, how it's literally just like a well-known trope at this point. They're like, yeah, hey, you know, most of software developers are furries, not the generalization naturally, and they have lots of money and they're willing to pay artists top dollar for, you know, pieces of art.
Everyone for themselves. hope you bastards at home appreciate this.
If you've ever been I need to make rent poor, you can understand furry artists. Alright, Scar was fun. Naturally, like, the Scar has this downside, right, where you attract a lot of attention, but, you know, it works out. Yeah, those poor artists, like, you know, making sure they can have a roof over their head. Fuck them, right? Don't blame the player, blame the game. If you're gonna blame furry artists for making furry art, then maybe you should look into why they need to make that art to make a living. I wouldn't blame the clients, no. Alright, we got that stuff. Like, all things considered, the consumption of art like that is probably like... As a person who's not very, like, I wear very plain clothing and I do not like ostentatious displays in public, like, if I saw someone wearing a fursuit in public, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, genuinely. But, like, consuming your media in private and paying for that media in private, like, that's perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that, right? I'm not gonna blame the consumer or the maker of that, right? Now, if that rolls over into public places, that's a different story entirely, but, like, yeah. Everything's consensual and private, so there's no issues. I mean, I don't know why you felt the need to bring up child stuff, considering I just said consensual. And a child can't give consent. But let's not bring that up again. And please, thanks and thank you. My God. It all leads back to anime. MG36? Wait, is that in the game? You mean the 34? Not really. I mean, that's why laws exist, Abu. We can just leave it at that. I mean, if the MG34 had like its actual rate of fire, it'd be a lot better.
Don't miss.
It looks fantastic, right? The aesthetic of the MG34 is great. It's just that it's a giant piece of shit. It's also got a bayonet that you can't use, right? Oh, for sure, with the meat grinder, Jacob. I still do think this map is just... This map needs some love. All of the maps with like... If you zoom out a bit, right, this map is just really comprised of this one central room and a few side rooms, and that's it, right? Like it for a map that's called Mech Trench and it's these giant trenches, it has almost no verticality, which is so sad. So they probably fry it ragey, I imagine. Just get a little skillet. But no salt. Probably not pepper, but they have to have salt, right? Maybe they can season it with some of the water from Frozen Swamp.
This gear is delicate. I need time to sort.
In regards to map, Jacob? I mean, I would like a template for like what a fully, like, having an idea, Jacob, of what a fully fledged map to them is would be nice. Because considering we haven't seen any updates to maps yet in regards to like adding more content to them, in regards to areas, I have to go off what we see, right? I do not think canned mystery meat takes sliced chicken. Like, there's no way. It's probably much more like pork. Isn't that the trope, right? Like, yeah, isn't the trope is like humans taste like pork? Just worse pork? My god, it's an entire fucking... Oh my god, there's 2 fucking giant platoons. Hi guys. I'm gonna go back this way, actually. Oh god, the door's fucking broken. Hey, Mario.
The report is in. It's raining.
Oh god. Am I hitting the fucking... You piece of shit. Fucking... All my bullets were going to that little fucking part right there. You know... I don't know, it's probably fine, right? I was peeking from the left-hand side, so they saw me before I actually started shooting them. Yeah, that's probably it, right? It felt like that guy had a very quick reaction time, but at the same time, like, before I can actually see him, look how much of me is exposed. That's fair. All right, we're good, right? I had plug pull. I had a question over here, I think, too, right? I actually am hoping for... I know they teased it beforehand, right? And we have it with drones and cyborgs now. I do want to see dynamic respawning of these guys, though. It does suck sometimes when you kill an entire European squad and, like, a second later they're back.
I think they spotted us. That's it for us.
Alright, we're good. How am I on meds? Okay, so a few left. Yeah, I mean, in a way, yeah. Endless inventory, but you can do that without having it feel cheap, right? And like the instant respawn around a corner does feel cheap sometimes. Hey, Nev. No, that is the worst, yeah. There's a few... So on Mesa, there is a exo spawn on top of the bunker, and if you're not aware that it can spawn there, it can sometimes just drop on you. But no, like, for this map exactly, right, we have these giant, let me go over here. We have this giant trench, but like we can only go on this very, like, it feels like there should be like more rooms and like ways across and so on and so forth.
Don't miss. Make every shot count.
It honestly feels like too there should be more guns around also, but I don't know, like guns firing overhead. I mean, you can, Jacob, you just have to drop them first. Just, it's kind of convoluted. I want to get down, but I don't feel safe.
This is it.
I guess that's probably the safer way.
Next.
Like, this is almost a perfect map, for example, too, of just having, like, things going on overhead that kind of just, like, walk over or go over the trench. Like, imagine, like, you're walking through this trench and just, like, a bunch of bodies just fall into the trench.
Eyes on us. Spread out.
A Chinook? I'm very curious what they're going to do for Europa Air Power, if they have any. That'd be gnarly too, right? Yeah. Or, for example, too, like maybe an area where the wall is broken in the trench and it's just like dirt and bodies. I almost like, I feel like Nevius, we're definitely gonna be getting like Spec Ops for sure, right? For Europa. The quest that involves us killing assassins for Europa apparently have them cloaked. Like, according to the quest, right? Not actually in game yet.
Appreciate this.
I mean, that'd be a cool thing too, right? Another layer of ambiance too, is just like, yeah, having battles in the sky. And I guess like that's the core issue, right? Going kind of circling back to the whole artists thing, right? And artists wanting to have a degree of authenticity to like what they're doing. It does feel like we haven't seen it yet, right? So like I'm gonna go ahead and assume this now, but like it doesn't feel like they want to have things off map be fake, if that makes sense, right? Like they don't want to have like sprites in the background or things flying overhead that aren't actually part of the scene, right? They're not just like ambiance pieces that aren't being fully simulated. Like if there's a fight that's happening overhead in the skies, it almost feels like they want to have that fight actually taking place and not just there for aesthetics. Sorta too with the soundscape, they seem to have added in a little bit of extra sounds to Elephant, but it's still very subtle, right? In regards to having sounds going on in the game that aren't necessarily on the map, right? Some ambient sound pieces. They kind of definitely hit that note, Nevius, for sure. You're talking about like, yeah, artillery or chemical strikes happening for sure. Events like that. Civilians? Yeah, civilians. That should be fine for now. I did not play Stray. it looked interesting. It didn't like... I don't know. I have played some like visual novel games like that sort of kind. Like, I'm not saying it's visual novel, but it's very like... I am very selective with the amount of like walking simulators I play. Very few and far between. And actually, it's not only a walking simulator, there are puzzles, right? But like, in essence, it is a walking simulator. Try melee kill with gunhead. Oh, I like, considering if we don't have pets with gunhead, there is no shot we have a stealth kill with gunhead yet. We can definitely try, but like, considering we still can't pet dog, there's like no hopes. I don't know what it is about this metal. It just looks so, maybe it's because it has no depth to it. That's probably why, right? Oh, it's literally so thin, I cannot have it render if I look at this angle. That's probably why it looks so weird. Hi guys. Don't look at me. I said don't look at me. Oh god, snipers. Yeah, like, I guess that's it too. Like, that was probably it looks really flat. That's what bugs me, right?
Initiated protocol 726. Close combat authorized.
Maybe they have cyborgs, right? Which are all melee focused. I would like to see eventually bayonet animations, right? Hello. Like, not like like, it'd be a lot of work to do a full-fledged, like, actual melee combat system, but just, like, some, like, special animations for, like, bayonets would be enough for me, I think. Hey, leave me alone. I think they only have, I don't want to say one environmental artist, but, like, probably, like, one or two people doing the actual maps. And, like, it's probably a lot for them to go back to previous maps, right? Like, they're probably jumping between maps a lot. Why tank so small? This also flip in a way. Now, that prop is new on this map, but, like, this is absolutely, like, one of their earliest maps, right? This is, like, a bunch of UE5 tools in a nutshell. Leave me alone! What do you have against robot heads with a gun? No, XO, stop that. Oh no, like 100%, but like, the way I see it flip is just, it's an oversight, right? No, I don't have snipers. Third eye blind, the tanks are a turtle. Hey, just give me access to your dev branch and I'll fix all the tanks and the mechs. I'll go in and just look at the scale sizes, Control A, make them all one. I will do the dirty work. And then all the maps break because you're not supposed to do that. Why are the tanks suddenly all so huge? Sir, you piece of shit! You running and gunning piece of shit! Fucking got a goddamn, like, zoomer tweaking fucking sniper here trying to 360 no-scope me. A lot of chaos going on right now. Wait, that's a good point, Mario. Why don't we have the Wilhelm screaming game? No, because apparently they fixed the tanks. I'll have to see it later. We'll go to Mesa, like Mesa next and see. Apparently tanks don't bounce anymore. But no, wait, where's our Wilhelm screaming game? I mean, I only heard it on the Discord. I didn't actually see it yet, so, well...
We have the munitions, terminal.
I'm assuredly below 2K with 2 sniper shots. Dog, are you okay? Alright, we're good. No, don't go that way. Go back the other way. No, don't come this way.
Initiated protocol 726. Close combat. Authorized.
Are you gonna be a jerk the entire time? Fine, I'll go around. Hey, Jay. Alright, there's the XO.
File requested.
I mean, you can kill the dog, just not alone. I also feel like, here's the problem, Grave. If you make a unit like that killable, you also have to make it not jankable, right? In the sense of, you just can't stand on a rock and be able to kill it, right? And here's the thing too, if they let you kill it, it would need to have the lethality where like a single scav would never be able to kill it, right?
Vectors. Seek cover immediately.
I mean, with the railgun, you can kill it now. Alright, we're good. Now, I have no idea of the HP I'm at, but I guess we're gonna find out. Okay, we're good. Be free. That's probably part of it too, right, Mario, right? Mario's, but like, yeah, Mother pounces now because she has to be able to clear terrain. I think she has a pounce now and a sit animation too, right? Where if you're inside, she like sits down and waits for you. Well, we're not that low. Like, we would be, if we were that low, we would be definitely be hearing, like, the sound effects, right? Oh, no, this is a very usual song for to play in the hangar. Yeah, we're pretty good. Considering we ate 2 sniper shots, that's not bad at all.
Time for repairs and rearmaments.
Yeah, her throwing cyborgs would be cool. Her summoning cyborgs would be cool. Just like lots of different things they can do to add extra feature sets to specials to make them deal with like people flying in heights and shit. You should probably play a character that actually can jump or actually has like the ability to carry heavy shit. Uh, I mean, honestly, one thing they could do perhaps too, right, is just give her it. I say this hesitantly, right? I just don't bother out for. Like, here's the thing, Hudson. There's nothing I need in this game, so I just don't bother doing anything with stuff, right? I just play it for the vibes, and that's really about it. Okay, so going back to my point, right? I've brought this up before. I am hesitant though, because it's not something you should just include for inclusion's sake, because it kind of has to be done well, otherwise it feels awful. And I feel like we're well past enough the time where it was overly popular, and so it was thrown into everything. And so I'm going to make the case for QuickTime events. Now, back in like the late 2000s, early 2010s, there was a period where QuickTime events were all the rage, and so they were thrust into everything, and because they were thrust into everything, they felt awful. But imagine this, right? Imagine if when you were grabbed by the dog, as opposed to just being instantly dead, you had a chance to get out of it with like a QuickTime event. Just, yeah, single case parries, or just like something to add some like more nuance to how you interact with the specials, and also give them more abilities to fuck with you when you're being kind of weird. Yeah, exactly. Something like that, some wrong guy. Exactly. Like, just, it doesn't need to be overdone or like this giant event, right? Of like having to press 15 buttons in sequence, right? But just small stuff like that. Oh, I don't play 33, mainly because I just like, if a game's a J or KRPG, I know just to stay away from it. Not because it's bad, just because it's not for me. I am very happy for them doing well. Whenever an indie studio does well, I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, go for it. Especially a French one, right? They don't have a very big gaming, like, not, I don't want to say culture, but like industry yet. So that's nice to see. So like indie studio doing well, and a studio in a different country other than America doing well, fantastic. Happy to see it. I might not like their game, which is perfectly fair, but like, I don't need to. They're doing well, good for them. I guess we can do these, why not? Do I have meds? I don't have meds yet. And I think like even like one like I'm not sure who said it in their company, right? But even like one of the people from 33's company, right, basically said like, yeah, this would never get approved in a AAA studio, which kind of shows the problem, right? Like in a sense of that's why like smaller studios are indie studios, because like they're actually willing to explore more novel concepts and games that would never get through the bureaucracy. Oh yeah, Mario's like reminder that this exists.
Lose track out here.
They're weird. Like the fact that this exists. Oh yeah. At this point, I'm just like, just go buy the Dodge asset from the Unreal store. Go buy it from Fab. Wasn't Tarkov before Sea of Thieves, though? You love your shuffle. It's so weird and just jarring.
Brought enough ammo to drown all the rats.
What year did Sea of Thieves come out? I actually just don't genuinely know. Also, like, I noticed it had been said around too recently. Something's gone on with Ash and Mesa. Just stuff doesn't spawn on this map anymore. Alright, so they still get bounced around by grenades, which is still very weird. That's probably more of an issue with the grenades than as opposed to the tanks. Where are my grenades going? Wait, what? Okay, tank is dead. It's not flying. Wait. Did they cheat? Hold on here. Did they cheat? Hold on. I need to go get evidence real quickly. Hi guys. Bye guys. Hold on, I need to go see if they cheated or not. Wait, now I hear X. Now I hear a Mac. Is it already despawned? Also, you're late. It was right here, right? This is the one I killed? It wasn't that one, it was this one. Yeah, the container's right there, actually. So it already despawned? Alright. There's a lot of static spawns in this map, Gravekeeper, where like max, like when you used to spawn Ash and Mesa, it would just happen a lot of the times where like they would just, like, there'd be a battle already raging here. Whoa, no, hey. Stop that. So as long as they're alive, they still bounce around. But I have a theory on what they might be doing. Are you still real? Okay, it's still real. Okay, that's nice. Wait, was I about to fly? What? Wait, what? Oh, man. I need to, like... Is the performance impact of having destroyed tanks and vehicles so bad they have to despawn them? I would rather they get rid of the effects as opposed to the actual mesh. You guys having a steering contest? Oh, it's guns gone, isn't it? Your gun's gone? You got shot off by an XO? Or are you just dead, actually? Hey, Valerios, yeah, I think he's just dead. Should've brought a drill, fuck. Yeah, there it is, there's a container right there. I should've brought a drill. No, tanks I don't think are worth looting still. Oh, cool. I mean, I'm not too worried about it, right? Credits are mainly meaningless. I don't think so. I think it was just you could see under it. You usually don't get that kind of perspective on a medium mech. No, I'm really curious though, like, I imagine they did some studies, right, and they like tested it out, but like the performance impact of dead vehicles can't be that bad, right? I would rather them keep the meshes and remove the what's it called? The effects as opposed to vice versa. Oh god, there's a fucking chopper. It seems to be a set spawn when you have the quest here now. All right. That's what I figured that too, Rem. I mean, I don't know for a fact, but like it feels like it would be, right? It makes a lot of sense, right? Having those little missile flaps also be a drone port. Yeah, it's kind of hard to think of, considering the Titan's size, it's almost hard to think of it any more than a landing craft, right? It just, there's no way for that to have enough living quarters, plus, like, it's got too much going. Okay, we're just going with Titan now. The Titan is too small to do everything it does in a, like, reusable or long-term capacity, right? It seems almost like a M72 LOL. It's expendable, right? Like, it's something you load up once and you fire it and then it's done. Like, it's got all of these guns, but it's got this massive central hangar where, like, where'd you store all the ammo? So it kind of makes you feel like it's almost preloaded with ammunition, and once you use it, it's gone. And it could be the case, for example, and why you see so many of these abandoned, is because they are just glorified landing craft. Naturally, they're like armed to the teeth, right? But like, when it comes, like, these are not supposed to be like reusable vehicles or like long-term vehicles. They are sent out to the front, they are loaded up with troops, and like, they fire all they have, and then they're done. I didn't bring a flashlight. Hey, Daddy. Because like this, there's this massive central hangar, right? We don't know what is behind the doors, right? But like, probably living quarters perhaps, or there's like service areas, but like there's not a whole lot here. I mean, dude, that doesn't really, wait. Wait. Wait a gosh darn second. Did they remove the lighting? No. No. They removed it as a light source. Hold on. This is silenced though. It is silenced. Hold on. This serves a bigger point. How am I supposed to see in the dark without... That was such a cool fucking feature. They removed the emissive properties of the bullets. Bring back the emissive properties. I am curious though, I didn't like, hold on, did the scar feel different tracer-wise? Hold on, now it's time for testing. Like, I didn't notice a tracer change, but maybe they did change them. Yeah, I mean, like, each bullet being a light source is an issue. I would say if they could make the muzzle flash, Maybe it wasn't though. I'm thinking that like yeah, maybe the bullet wasn't emissive, but maybe just the actual muzzle flash effect was emissive. Well, yeah, thanks for the kind words, Dr. Hugs, I guess. Yeah, I'm familiar with that. I have this trend, right, where I don't generally watch other content creators for games I play. Not because they don't make good content, just because I don't want to be derivative. That's just a personal thing with me. But no, like, in regards to the game itself, it's early, like, the biggest thing, right, it's a vibe, right? Like, if you like the grimdark sort of feel, that's kind of a lot more grounded than, say, like, you know, Space Marine 40K, then yeah, it's really nice. The gameplay is still really early access. Like, if you're looking for a fully fleshed out game, it's not here yet, so wait. But if you like the ride of early access, if you like supporting developers early on, yeah, get the game, support them. It depends on, like, if you're willing to play early access, you're okay with an incomplete game, and, like, you want to support developers. And how much $30 is a year too, right? That's always a factor also. But like if you get frustrated easily at unpolished experiences, definitely give it some time. Someone asked for my raw file of Eclipse, and I gave it to them for that exact purpose. If you look around, I imagine they should have it, right? I would say look around a bit, because like, there was a person who asked maybe a couple months ago for my raw file of the ambient Eclipse for that exact purpose, and I sent it over to them, so. And they were asking for Wallpaper Engine. Yeah, Mario, that's what we're testing out next, right? Is we're gonna see if it was because of the silencer. Yeah, there's nothing I would say.
We get to see another.
There's not very many game-breaking bugs in the game, yeah, Gravekeeper, and they're very good about like bugs of that severity getting actual fixed, like in between big patches. Like it's not really, yeah, it's not bugs that make the game unplayable. It's just bugs that kind of pull you out of the immersion. Valerius, they have kind of like mentioned that they only want to keep the lore sort of like Dark Souls-y. They don't want to be too overbearing with exposition. Yeah, Jacob, like Mesa's felt a little bit weird since the few patches, right? It seems like it's gotten toned down a lot in regards to the threat level it's in. Okay, so what we need to do is one big thing here. Let's go over... I need a silence and unsilence gun, I guess. Let's use the RPK. So we have two RPKs here. Bring some meds. We're gonna jump to. And we're gonna go to, I think, Frozen Swamp for this. Yuruska. I can't actually raise that. I'll just run across. I will say, that was a cool aspect of the game, though. That's because I murder people. I do lots of shooty shoots. I also just don't bother raising it too. The only things I don't. You notice I haven't sold to a vendor yet today, right? The only time I've done is I've bought some ammo from them, bought some meds from them. That's it. But no, there's a very good spot here where I've actually used the muzzle flashlight quite a lot. I guess we need to check this too. We need to see if they added in sound effect for the bridge. I would be so surprised if they did in a small patch like this, but it would be cool.
Keep cool. Carry on.
There was a small patch like a couple days ago, or either yesterday or like Monday, that fixed Bagman's and Massman's aim. That was the only thing of note we noticed in it. There's still no sound effect? Hey, Tank. No worries. Hope college is going well for you. I guess let's try out the actual guns first.
Brought enough ammo to drown an army. Rats.
So that's a tree. I mean, it could have just been that gun too, perhaps. We'll have to go see.
Shred 'em fast. So we can
Guys, I want to go around you. I don't want to fight you guys. We're not making it easy. Like maybe it's just a bug with that current caliber, perhaps? Maybe they've had their vocal cords replaced with just radio chatter noises. Alright, this should be pretty pitch black in here if I recall correctly. Unless they changed it. Like it should be genuinely hard to see in here where that muzzle flashes. Oh yeah, it's... Oh no. So this is the silencer, right? Okay. Let's go to the unsilenced. No, it's, yeah. Nothing. Can't see jack shit. And, like, the effect is still there. Oh, wow. If we actually hit metal... the spark of hitting metal still gives us the actual emissive properties. Oh, God. Hey, go away. Alright, we're good. I wonder if they're just work in progress. Wait, hold on here. So, like... there's no recoil to it, though. It just needs a little bit of recoil and it feels so good. Like, that's literally all it's missing is just the slightest, it doesn't need to be overbearing. Like, it doesn't need to be like old patch, right? But just a little bit of recoil to make you, like, want to control it a little bit, right? Like, it's so close to feeling good. Like, the shaking of the actual gun looks good. Like, the actual sound effect looks good, or feels good. It, like, the gun feels good, it's just missing that vertical, like, recoil, right? Like, trying to control it. It doesn't... I guess what it is, it's that they're stabilizing... It feels like they're stabilizing the actual... Oh, isn't that maybe what they're... I don't know, it feels weird. This is probably not right? But it feels like almost the center of the crosshair, or like that circle, is centered around the point of impact where the bullet would land, and not necessarily the actual, like, reticle. It feels like the actual reticle for the red dot is detached from the actual gun. And it's probably not the case, it just feels that way currently. But like for the RPK with just like with no optic at all, it generally feels that close, right? It just needs that little bit of extra recoil to it.
Same as it ever was. A damn close call on a day of close calls.
But no, yeah, super unfortunate the muzzle flash is gone. Yeah, but like, Michael, at the same time, you would, when you're fully firing a gun like that, like, it's supposed to look like that, right? It's supposed to look floaty, but like, when you're shooting a gun full auto, even if that optic's not moving, your face is going to move, right? You're gonna get jiggled around by like the actual recoil, right? To the point where it's gonna move ever so slightly. I mean, the gunplay's been better for a while now, Skellius, considering they reworked guns a while ago. They've been working on making them better. I would say the biggest culprit right now is definitely just the fact that guns just don't have recoil right now. Like, there's a quick jump when you start shooting, but after that, it takes care of it. It does it for you, essentially. Essentially, if we could just have the gunplay we have right now, plus the recoil of the guns back on launch, it would probably feel great. And I do think they could probably tone it down a bit, though. Oh, for sure, Michael. It depends on the caliber of the gun, right? Like 9mm is gonna be different from 5.56, different from 7.62, like so on and so forth, right? But like all of the guns have that quirk right now, right? They all have that kind of feature where they just don't feel, the reticle feels floaty. Like, if that was, like, for example, 9mm, I'd be like, yeah, this is fine. But it's 7.62, right? At full auto. The bloom on fire just feels weird too, right? Yeah, the bloom on, like, full auto just feels weird. I would much rather... Like, it can be fake recoil, right? They don't need to actually, like, have the bullet come from the actual, like, end of the muzzle. Like, yeah. It doesn't have to be real recoil, but at the same time, the bloom feels really weird. Like, if they're gonna make it bloom like that, at least make the gun shake around to, like, have it orient itself to that bloom where the bullet's going. Like, as opposed to the bullet going straight out of the barrel in a straight direction and that being the bloom, it's more of just veering off the second it leaves the barrel, right? What's the biggest gun you can use? Probably 308, I imagine. 7.62, 308. I guess you could use this. It's been so long since I've tried. God, I'm sure you feel awful. Alright. We're gonna do scrapyard. Yeah, I will say the bloom does feel quite weird. Yeah, the shooting, it felt off-putting in Stalker 2, right? The original Stalkers were just like you point at someone's head and the bullet goes off somewhere else entirely. At least you eventually got guns that ignored the mechanic, but like it felt weird for the longest time. Why do you still... Even the developers don't care about the VKS. It has had this bug since launch, right? Where it will have its iron sights pop up in front of you when you try to use an optic. It's been like that forever. Even the developers don't give a shit about the VKS. Is my flashlight not on? Okay, there it is. It just wasn't showing far away. It's not perceivable, it's still there.
Bad luck today.
I mean, having bloom is not bad. Like, I want recoil. Like, the problem is like this, right? Is during this entire time, right? During this bloom, it's not that our barrel is moving, it's just the bullets are starting to deviate from the barrel, right? And it's not like a little bit, it's a lot of it, right? If it was subtle bloom to just increase the, like, if it was bloom to just be MOA of a gun, that's one thing, but like, it's comical how large the bloom is on certain guns. Rather most guns, right? And it feels arbitrary too, right? Like it feels arbitrary because it's like, that's, sure, a gun's going to get more inaccurate as it heats up. But like, that's not what's happening here. It's just the longer you fire, the more bloom you have. But it goes away the second you just like reset your recoil, right? It's not like a heat mechanic or anything like that.
Not sure where.
No. I feel like if I try to use a VKS to kill this thing, it's gonna kill me. Hold on, reloading. Hold on, reloading. Hold on, reloading. Got ya. Hold on. Hold on. I mean, I wouldn't really put much effort or much emphasis on the skill trees, considering how, like, clearly work in progress the skill trees are. I mean, I wouldn't really say that's the culprit here, Mario. It's the same damage as 308. Like, it's not based on realism, right? It's just the damage number plus, like, with a magazine capacity. It's the same damage as 308 and 7.62 in the game, but just only 5 rounds. So it's not flush versus, like, you know, metal. It's just damage and magazine capacity.
Christmas.
Or I'll get you eventually. Hold on here. Hold on, I got this. Gabe. Hold on, I got this. Hold on. Oh, my bullets. Let me up. Oh, I got grenades. We good? Oh, I'm out. Charge! Oh. Alright. How do you do? You enjoying life? Huh. Curious. I guess maybe they expected everyone, like, no one to actually ever melee kill a Yaruska soldier. Is it a pad though? Okay. Alright, well, I guess bye. This one does not have a face, it has a mask. Got a camera too. Hey, Gumi. There's some highlighting. I mean, there is highlighting too. For example, if you play the tutorial, there is highlighting. You don't notice it as often when it's not happening, but like... Hold on. It's hard to realize how aggressive it is. But like, the cyborgs in the tutorial have some very aggressive outlining, right? Alright, cyborgs. Like right there, yeah. It happens. It doesn't happen all the time, but like it's definitely there, right? Yeah, it's very inconsistent. Like you have to be like close enough. It's really, it doesn't happen consistently. But like you will occasionally see like, yeah, that red outline here, right? It's like, I guess, yeah, right there. There we go. I don't know how to trigger it, but like, yeah.
Burn, baby, burn.
I wasn't pinging at all. No, it was like, it used to happen a lot more back in the day. I think they just got rid of it, but it still exists, you know, occasionally. I guess maybe we actually don't have, like, I want a snow map. Perhaps, yeah. All right. It's time for cemetery. Now the question is it time for easy cemetery or hard cemetery? Alright, so okay, we'll play a character that's under 2k HP then. If you ever want to make cemetery feel like a joke, just play a character over 2k HP. And I guess we won't be using the skip with the good old jump. It would be nice actually, just yeah, snow maps. Cyborgs hiding under snow. Ooh, a night shift.
It's always the same up here.
Alright, is the book there? Okay, it is not. Book? Book? No book today.
Christmas.
Be free, my children. Said be free. Yeah, give me. Well, a lot of the maps need a lot more. I think what's it called? Stuff to them to actually make that work, like to work. But it would be cool, right? Like, there's not that many. There's not much choice on maps right now. So like, well, there's television, I guess. Leave me alone. I think my problem with this map, right, it's just too small and there's not enough to it, along with like the gimmick of the, you know, the grabber. It just feels like a map that's just, there's not a lot going on with it, right? Yeah, I mean, we've done a few Darkstar in the past, like new accounts with no buying stuff from vendors, really. There's a few issues. The main one is just you can't really get a lot of the items off in raid right now. Like, there's a lot of stuff on for the vendors that's just not part of the loot pool. For example, silencers. Finding a silencer in raid is like a real pain in the ass. It's possible, but like, it's like 1 in 100. It also, like, I will say, like, Underground Cemetery does, I think, a very poor job in regards to making you feel like this scale, right? It is supposed to be a claustrophobic map, but you can have it feel claustrophobic, I think, with still giving you this grand scale of, like, this, right? Of, like, these massive underground areas. There's a lot of elements too, and I will say this, Stairway's been in development for a long time. I think they were just waiting on art assets to be finished before they actually finished Stairway. But like, there is a degree of like where the maps sort of feel like they're first designed about an aesthetic as opposed to gameplay considerations, right? I don't want to say all maps are like that, but like it definitely feels like naturally you want to have a concept for your map, but like the way I would approach it personally is like I want to have a theme or a concept for my map, and then like I block out the map and like figure out the layout I want, right? And it seems like naturally this is me like just theorizing, right? This is probably not right. But it feels a lot like they kind of go for an aesthetic first before anything else. And then like they figure out like the gameplay of the map later. And it's kind of why, for example, I think Stairway really falls flat. If you blocked out a map and like, this is fun for Stairway, I feel like, I don't know. It's hard to think that like Stairway would ever make it through like people actually playtesting the map. All right, what map? We haven't done Scorched yet, I guess. I mean, that's kind of what they do, Skycade. Like they do make cool maps. Like the maps are aesthetically very cool, right? But like they are very high on the spectacle, right? They do a good job making you feel like immersed in the world. But like that doesn't really keep you coming back always, I feel like, right? In a way, if you've ever been to like a fancy restaurant, right? Where it's not about the volume of the dish, it's about the presentation, like the actual like flavors it's giving you. Like it's nice, but it doesn't make you feel full, right? That's why usually those meals are like, you know, 8 courses, and like that. Like they're at the very least it's usually a 3-course meal, but like they present you with different little elements that you consume, right? But it's never fulfilling by itself, right? It's more of an experience. But sometimes you do just kind of want like a hearty meal. And that's where I would say it kind of leaves you a bit lacking in that hearty mealing regard, like hearty meal regard. I wouldn't say that fancy, Skycade. That's real fancy in regards to just that expensive. But like, that's kind of like what I'm getting at, right? Like, a map like Stairway kind of feels like that, right? It feels kind of like a specialty dish, right? That doesn't leave you feeling fulfilled, but like does give you an experience.
Well, time to dive another dumpster.
Yeah, like, I mean, naturally it's all in the eye of the beholder, right? Alright, let's go kill the commander first before he actually dies to someone else. Alright, Commander, where you at? Toothy left you alone. You're not already dead, are you? Commander? You're not near, are you? No. No, not our king. Your king. Where the... Did, like, it die to a drone falling on it or something? Where's the commander? That's, I mean, I guess that could have been him? Did Toothy crush him immediately? Let's go look for fire, I guess. I don't know, the buildings being like that big, right? They are obscenely... Where the fuck did you come from? They do look obscenely big, but like, I'm okay with that scale, right?
Ton of action down there. We should avoid it.
No, no, god damn it. What did I do to deserve this? I said no! What the fuck? Spawns out of nowhere. Fucking choppers, man. Hate it when choppers chopper for no reason other than choppering. All I'm saying is this, is if a chopper was like hovering over an AO like that, it would get lit the fuck up by small orbs. And say what you will, a chopper is not surviving that many shots from small orbs. That's what we have 50 cal for. That's literally what we have 50 cal for. And yeah, you can up armor choppers, right? But there's only so many fucking 50 cal shots they can take before they start actually hurting, right? Oh god. Yeah, choppers are not tanks. Granted, you like that's like the hind, right? You can up armor choppers, but they're still not going to hover directly over a battlefield. All right, take two. No, they literally are in the game currently. They are the most aggressive. Ever since they tweaked the AI a bit, they are on crack cocaine. They hover over the battlefield and like they will aggro to you and then just stick to you until you kill them or you die. They have this tendency to just like literally just not ever fuck off. Speak of the devil. Yeah, that's the biggest thing too, right? They're very focused on scavs doing.
Don't get boxed in. Spread out.
It's funny because like I will like on purpose do nothing when there's a chopper, and it will still just end up aggroing to me when there's an entire map full of things you should be probably killing instead. Why are you flying so low? Like, say what you will, but enough 50 cal to those rotor blades would fuck them up royally. Like, this is literally the prime example of like why having a bunch of soldiers with 50 cal makes a lot of sense, right? Just like punish the living shit out of that chopper. I haven't tested it yet either, but like, once again, I haven't looked into that much either, right? But like the general collision rules so far seem like just regular. I haven't tried doing, oh shit, I'm sorry. I'm sure it exists. I haven't seen complex collision yet in regards to models on UE5. I imagine as opposed to having one box, you probably just have multiple. But I know at least in the Unity, right, you can actually have like complex collision models on certain parts of collision boxes and stuff like that on models. Essentially, like, if they were to try and break up certain segments of vehicles like choppers into weak spots, I'm curious how they would do it. Okay, can you do custom? Yeah, I like all of the stuff I was looking at so far just mainly just says do just general, like, you know, capsules and stuff like that. So that's good to know. I kind of was hoping too that their first iterations or one of their iterations on specials were going to be weak spots. I'm not sure if I follow Game Shift. How do you people respond to comments on mobile? What do you mean?
Easy, Diddy.
Oh, Scully, in regards to water, right? There's other ways of doing it that kind of, I think, still have that feeling, right? Without necessarily needing to like rely on an IRL timer. I think if they really want to pursue that feeling, they still can. I can probably just run it back, right? We have plenty of ammo. Sure, why not? Yeah, bud. I can spawn in the trench lines there pretty consistently. I want to say like cardboard, right? Like plastic like almost a mix of plastic and cardboard. I'm curious. Hold on, speedrun. Speedrun. I'm here to go up the staircase.
Make every shot count.
Don't mind me. You guys shooting an Orgamech? Yeah, they're shooting an Orgamech. Alright, he's dead. Like, it is the vibe, right? It's really cool. Like, don't get me wrong, this is a really cool spectacle.
Don't get boxed in. Spread out.
They can't. They have the same rules as every other special, where you can railgun them, and that's it. Oh, FPS drops.
Oh shit. Got what I need.
The way I feel about it, once we see the Orgamechs with actual like ranged guns, I think they would make them actually immortal, right? The key premise is this, right? The units that are immortal are special, or they do not have full functionality yet to the point where it would be gimmicky to kill them. So like, because you can stand behind a sandbag or stand on a rock and kill an Orgamech, that's why they're unkillable, because they would be a joke to include otherwise. But like, apparently Orgamech's supposed to have 20mm cannons, right? So when they have those, I would be not surprised at all if they make them killable, because the risk is there again, right? Where like, sure, you can kill an Orgamech, but if you aggro it and you're not ready, it will tear you to shreds. Toothy is just a weird unit too, right? Like all the mechs, you can go stand on the rock and above Toothy. Like you can punk out Toothy too. And like the big thing with Toothy's missing his mites right now. Toothy is supposed to have basically a bunch of mites around him that I think function with Toothy. So probably for that reason. Why are you...
Don't get boxed in. Spread out.
Get out of the suitcases, you fiend. My God. The Toothy we're currently seeing is aligned with the Eruska. The Toothy in the cinematics is a rogue Toothy. So we haven't seen a rogue Toothy yet. No, Michael, you can get the mechs. You can get all the normal codexes from just units dying. But like, I don't think the specials can die from conventional damage. So like, if you want to get the codexes for specials, you have to kill them with railguns. But like, you can go medium mech hunting with a grenade launcher and get codexes. Or just wait for one to die. The rogue one does, right? So keep in mind, Toothy is supposed to be essentially like a medevac mech. But like, essentially the rogue one repurposes its essentially its keep alive bags into turn you into energy bags. Sure, why not? Let's do a bunker spawn too. Vendors, Europa. Grillo, I'm so sorry. How would you like... Okay, you forgive me, nice. I think it's called Toothy because of its head, if I recall correctly. It's just some nickname I got for its head. Alright, checking it. Hold on. Let me fix my rig. Alright, we got the Vepr. Bring our ammo. Bring our meds. Yeah, something's going on with Ashen Mesa for sure. So for example, the Titan, once home to endless cyborgs, is no longer home to endless cyborgs, which is super sad, by the way. It might be part of an overall like overhaul of the map, perhaps, but like, we're in this weird middle ground where it's just kind of lacking still. Oh, that's enough. Yeah, I wonder why it's so low now.
Well, time to dive another dumpster.
You know, he says dumpster diving, but I haven't seen a dumpster yet. Yeah, this is genuinely, like, very empty. That or the so... One thing I will say is that it definitely seems like the way they were spawning units on Mesa was a very simplified way of doing it, where you had areas where things would spawn and things would despawn, right? Essentially spawn and despawn triggers, right? And perhaps as a way of updating the map, they were replacing those with other means. But right now we're in this like middle period, right? Keep in mind, keep in mind we were leaked test code for grenades. So it suffices to say that, like, if they're working on map overhauls, there's a good chance they might sneak into the live branch and get shipped out while still being half-baked. And what this could be is that exactly right, where we're currently in this middle ground where they're reworking the spawns of this map, but it was pushed out to live with a few other things that weren't supposed to go out to live. And so for right now, we're just seeing that, right? This kind of half rework of the map. Essentially, it seems like they're probably removing the boxes for spawns and despawns and replacing it with some other system. Can I not jump on you? What would be cooler? I want it so bad. I want offhand utility items like a drill. I want to scrap that. I want to come onto the map with a bandsaw, or not bandsaw, like a saw, and just start scrapping off parts of this. So bad. Yeah, basically Shipbreaker Light. But no, like... Yeah, the only thought I have is, like, they're definitely reworking the spawns of this map for sure. Freaking cows. Or just scrapping in general, right? And that, like, that promotes kind of this, like, dynamic gameplay too, right? Where, you know, you have a unit die in the field, but, like, its carcass remains. And so, like, you come by after the fight's done, or, like, you know, you, like, maybe do it during the fight, and you come scrap some parts off. Is there an exit down there? No, they have really neutered the spawns of this map for sure. This used to be like a death area, right? Where you would never come down here because it was just pure death. Endless spawns of European soldiers. Yeah, we're just like, we're mid-rework. Also, the flat bottom. It feels like there should be some more, like, naturally, it's such a low priority because, like, why would you ever be down here? There should probably be some stuff down here though in regards to the bottom side of the Titan. All right, that's the minefield sound. If you can't see, it's because I can't see. Yes, the screen is pitch black, but it's because I can't see either right now. There we go. The light. Wait, hold on. I mean, there's a little bit actually with a shotgun still. It's not a lot, but like it's more than the fucking AK. You can actually see a little bit from this. Well, let's try that shield. It's not very far though, I will say. Hold on. I mean, it's enough though. You can see a little bit with it. Flares would be cool. An actual way to toggle your flashlight without having to aim would be nice. Why are you solid? Ah, minefield. Look how cool it looks. Yeah, it's genuinely so quiet on this map now. So quiet. There we go. That's the set spawn again. Alright, we're good.
No wind, fight ahead.
The corpses are always so weird in this game. The weird twitching. I think that's what downtown's supposed to be, right? It's actually supposed to be urban. We'll have to see how they do it. Don't look at it. Don't look at it. See, that's a reasonable and very reasonable stealth kill. Scav girl and masked man. Is that for you? I can't for you? I said be free. Alright, well I guess you have to live. Easy. I'm gonna meds. I can't play meds. Okay, we're good. Hey, hold on here. Very weird lighting change, huh? No, stop it. Oh, by the way, yeah, don't scrutinize the smoke too much. It might be 2D. Let me rephrase, it is 2D. Don't look at it. Don't look at it.
Clean exit. Best thing in life.
It's generally fine, yeah. You have to like scrutinize it very closely to actually care about it or notice it. No, it is 2D, Michael. I'll tell you right now, it is 100% 2D. But like it's off map, it should be 2D, right? It's just that it's close enough off map where like if you're at the very edges of the map, you can definitely notice it's 2D. But it's really not that big of a deal. For example, if we actually, let's go back to Stairway real quick. Stairway does the same thing exactly. Let's go here. Let's do SMG MPL. It's generally fine, yeah. Like, they're all used in areas where you really can't notice it unless you really try to notice it. Which naturally the whole facade's gonna fall apart at that point anyway. I mean, I wouldn't even say Mag Trench has that many indoor areas. Like, it has the indoor area. That just happens to be Boop. That can be it sometimes.
Every run tells a slightly different story.
That's only one of the caveats of streaming. Where are you? So like, it's really impossible to notice because it's like naturally you would never get to the point where you could probably notice it. But like this little cloudy wall right here, it's a 2D little filter, right? You'd be hard pressed to notice it there from where. Yeah, no, okay, you can see it right here actually. This is, yeah, you can actually, hold on. If you look at the side of the map, yeah, no, that's 2D, yeah. You can see if you look farther away here, it is literally a wall. The illusion breaks when you start looking this way. Like you look up and around, yeah. You have to like try to look for it though, right? So like it does its job well. Like naturally, if you try to scrutinize everything in the map, it's gonna fall apart, right? But like, unless you look for it, you're not gonna notice it.
They have arrived.
He goes like, stop breaking the facade. I'm sorry. I'm just unveiling things to you guys I notice when I'm trying to get recording for videos. I am breaking the illusion. Guys, the video game's a lie. It's not real life. They're faking things. They're trying to trick us with their magic tricks, but we're too smart for that. All right. There's a lore video coming out in next week. That's about it. It's in progress. Yeah, I mean that's literally. I remember, like, this is not my main job, so like it's all casual around here. Where's my iron sights at? I feel like I'm aiming too low, or aiming like there's iron sights in the front of this, but I just can't see them. Did they ruin my MPL? Oh no, but yeah, I don't fault them at all, right? It's just that it's a little fun little look at the facade break kind of moment. Hold on, I'm reloading. Alright, we're good. You want some? Hold on. Alright, we're good. No. Stop that. I mean, I will say though, like Nomad, the Dead Space remake does slap. That's the thing. I'm glad they pushed you over the edge.
They have arrived
No, hey guys, we can talk about this.
to endure.
Oh, that's why. I was like, it's only on burst for some reason. Yeah, I love this god. It's unfortunate that I think the back, something's broken about it, right? We can't see the front sights at all, but man, it works out pretty well. It's definitely a vibe gun, though. It's not very good. Oh, excellent. Let's go around that.
Keep your fingers off the triggers. You have to hold fast.
Are you still a hole? Chopper, no choppering. Oh, for sure. There's no reason to have like 3D, like atmospheric effects far away, right? That is just like wasting compute power. It's just the ones that are being used currently are close enough where, like, if you get to the map's edge and are trying to scrutinize the world, you can. You do have to look for it though. Like, naturally, that's like all games though. If you try and look for ways of breaking the facade, you generally will. And that's not really a fault for the game. Like, if you're trying to break something, it's differently from you just accidentally breaking it. What I don't understand is, how are these suitcases so tall but not so wide? Riddle me that. Yeah, if you watch any speedrun. I wonder if this still works. This might kill me. If it does, it is what it is. But I wonder if this still is in the game. Okay, they might have finally added a kill trigger. So when they pushed this map out, they didn't actually include an automatic kill trigger. So like there was a few spots early on this map where like we would fall down there, and you could just walk around down there. It was really weird. Alright. I guess I should be probably making some railgun parts, shouldn't I? I kind of forgot about them, to be honest. Sure. Let's go rigs. Let's see here. Yeah, you bring it into a raid once. It has 10 shots, but like, yeah, once you expend it in raid, it's gone. You have to make a new one. And I want to say 10 shots is enough for 2. I want to say, is it 4 shots to kill special with it, or 3? I want to say it's 4. It makes me think 4, but I can't recall. Still on cooldown? Not. Yeah, it's 4. So you get 2 kills and 2 mulligan shots. I don't think it's 5. All right, let's bring a jump to. There's a sniper. And there we go, all 3. All right, Mesa. City ruins. The final station, is that the one where like, I know there's that like one, like the horror one, right? The one when you're like, where you're in a like subway station and like, it's like a trick to get out of it, right? Is that what you're referring to?
I think they spotted us. That's it for us.
All right, out we go. The sound effect's still in my left ear. Alright, sniper's dead. He wasn't a very good sniper. Oh, it's a movie? Where's your false god now, blood? What are you guys shooting at? Oh. There you go.
We can break out.
Yeah, like the mechs just have such big issues. Like shooting anything, like, but like it genuinely feels like when like the direction they point, they have like a 5-degree cone, and if anything's outside of that cone, they can't hit them. It kind of definitely feels like I'm down there. Yeah, okay. Like the mechs need some animations to help them out a lot, or like different poses, something to like help them actually shoot things. It happens with the medium mech too for Europa. Like they just don't have a good way of traversing their guns, and so they just fall apart. Like for example. That shouldn't happen, to be honest. There should be some like weird state, for example, where like if they get flipped over as opposed to resetting, they die. And not die in a fiery way, like just die in a sense of that like they turn off perhaps. Like imagine if they got flipped over and like you see like a Yoruska guy just leaving. Huh. Wait, what? they're like, you don't belong up here. Go back to where you belong. Guys, to be nice to the tank, welcome it. Alright, well. Oh, tank of Shantytown, tell me your lore. Huh. So very curious. Yeah. They can't comprehend how to pathfind around this. They're confused. Uh-oh. They want to find a way. They have to follow their orders. Well, this has been insightful. So very insightful. Anyway, back to our scheduled programming. So, like, this happens in the medium mechs for Europa too. They just don't know how to, like, their animations don't let them traverse up enough. And so, like, as long as you have height, you can bully the shit out of these guys. And they just do not know what to do. Damn. And like, it's so severe enough too that like, we're not even that high up traverse-wise. It still can't do anything to us at this high level. The rocket pods can occasionally reach you. They still have issues traversing up sometimes, but like they're kind of a meme in regards to how much damage they do. They're not very lethal. Ow. But it definitely feels like they should, especially the humanoid mechs, they should be able to aim up a lot better than that. Uh-oh. Where's that bullet going? Is there an invisible wall here? Ah, there is. How high do you go? Way too high. Got it. Understood. Actually, you're fine. You can live.
As long as I'm the last one standing. This is a bad place. Full of bad people.
Also, yeah, no exo here anymore. Like, they entirely like removed the bridge spawn here too, which makes the bridge so easy now. Megatron. Autobots roll out. Yeah, they just have such issues traversing their main gun. All right, we're good here. Get out of here. And ban. Now, I'm not too well versed in quantum computers, but like, isn't their gimmick is that they're really good at Ertelli. They're really good at things that regular computers can't do well, and really bad at things that computers do already well. Like, they're like the inverse of computers, right? Like, they do the exact opposite things very well. So Ertelli, it is a extraction shooter. It's grimdark. It's kind of based in like a dystopia, like future hellscape, where you're a scavenger trying to survive amongst a war between technically two factions. And the premise of the game is that it's more about survival as opposed to being some badass. And so it's super early access right now. It's more of a vibe than a complete game. But like, if you're looking for a game about survival and just kind of playing more like a rat as opposed to like some god tier Chad, it's nice. And the other big selling point, it's PvE and you can play it offline if you want to. So there's no worry about, say, for example, if the servers go offline, you can't play the game anymore. There's none of that. It's fairly chill. Like, there's tense moments in it. Like, the game does have that kind of intensity to it in regards to like a horror factor. But it's chill in the sense that, like, yeah, there's no PvP, right? There's no worry about like having to go against some sweats, right? It's really just about you versus the environment or the world. And there is co-op too. So like it's up to 4-player co-op. But you can basically play the entire game alone. The biggest thing to say though, right? It is early access. So like, and it is the epitome of early access, right? Like it doesn't really have an end game, doesn't really have progression yet. It's literally just kind of a vibe. Yeah, for me, it's kind of that. It's more of just the lack of integrity in regards to environments like that. In a way, a lot of the games that have PvP as their core premise just end up feeling like a rat race. That's kind of what every wipe in Tarkov now feels to me, so I just kind of stopped engaging with it. It just felt like a fresh start to a new rat race. And it just felt like if you weren't willing to sink in lots of hours, you just kind of fell behind and were chronically behind, right? And it just doesn't feel like a very engaging gameplay loop to me anymore. I don't mind PvP as a concept, but I don't think in the current day it's very wise to have it as a core premise of your game, because it is kind of, it's taken a long time, but it definitely feels like it's getting played out a bit. Yeah, there's lots of people who like Rust. I gave Rust a solid like 1 try. I'm like, this game fucking sucks. There are certainly people like, I am sure you have all heard me before say, I don't like this game. It doesn't mean it's bad, it's just not for me. I will actually contrast that with Rust. I do genuinely think the Rust style of games are awful. Now, and they're carried by their social interactions. Rust is carried by like your interaction with other players. Objectively by itself, Rust is just an awful game. Like, I so strongly dislike Rust. The whole concept of like, oh hey, so you're, and there's community servers, right, that get around this, but like this concept of, oh hey, you're not no-lifing this game, have your base get raided, get wrecked. I mean, it's a great game in the sense of like, it's a great game because it drives a lot of social interaction, right? Like, the beauty of Rust is not in the game, it's the template it provides for social interactions. Because it's a highly competitive game, right? It is a game where the gameplay loop solely resides upon its ability to facilitate competition between players and groups of players. There are not a lot of games that lean into the no life for short periods of time to get ahead and win. You have games that are more long-term in that regards, like say for example, like any MMORPG are much more about like that long-term grind. And even then, right, it's not a core tenet of the game, right? Like there are very few if any, MMORPGs that kind of lean into the fact of PvP as a sole mechanic. So you get guns from traders, there's vendors here you buy guns from. You can do a process to get them in raid 2. It's not very easy, but you generally get guns from doing quests and buying them off traders. 7 Days to Die is a different story, right? Because 7 Days to Die can be played entirely solo. Like, when you get raided in 7 Days to Die, right, like there's NPC raids. The raids in like Rust solely relies upon the PvP. I enjoy the novelty of DayZ, but like I quickly also abandoned DayZ, right? The whole premise of like playing for a long period of time and losing that progress to just someone who was willing to no life harder for example, just sitting into sitting in a bush waiting for someone to pass by who wasn't lucky enough. Like, sure, like, it's fun and novel in the sense that, like, it provides an experience you've never experienced before, but, like, it gets old quickly, at least for me, right? In the sense of, oh, hey, it's just like it's just like real life war, right? Sometimes you can do everything right, but just get unlucky and die. And I'm sorry, but I'm not personally looking for that in my experiences when gaming. At least not anymore, right? There was a period where I enjoyed milsims, but even in those periods of milsims, right, I wasn't just like, I want to arbitrarily die for no reason. Yeah, there's definitely, you're telling, like, yeah, some MMORPGs that lead into that, right? But, like, that's more of an example of, like, a long-term rat race. The biggest tip I can say, Ertelli, is that with the current aggro system, always rock a silencer. Aramaki will probably be your easiest and earliest way of buying a silencer, but, like, yeah, just buy one of every silencer, make sure any gun you have has a silencer on it, and it will make your life a lot easier. Running unsilenced guns right now in the game is just, it's really hard. It makes the game feel a lot different. And that difficulty can be nice sometimes, but, like, when you're learning the game and just trying to get by, run a silencer. And the biggest thing I will say too, I've noticed a few people, like, there's a lot, and don't be afraid of just doing, like, no gear runs and just learning the maps, or just even that, just, like, don't be afraid to die in the game. There is no penalty really for dying all that much. It's a very forgiving game right now, considering it's early access. And that is likely to change in the future, but for right now, right, I think it's very wise what they're doing, considering the early access nature of just making it forgiving to die. That might not always be the case, though. Yeah, that's very true too, right? And there's lots of people who are willing to just do that to get ahead. Like, there is a sense of, for example, right, with ARPGs, one of my friends who, like, plays RPGs a lot solely leads into having a guide and, like, knowing a build before he starts playing. When I play an RPG like Path of Exile, like, I'll just go in and just tinker and make stuff up, right, and just try to, like, I will organically create my character skill tree, right? And sometimes it utterly fails, don't get me wrong. Like, sometimes, like, there was plenty of instances back in the original Path of Exile where my builds would just fail and I wouldn't get to endgame. But sometimes when I do get to endgame, it's actually, I find it really rewarding in the sense of, okay, cool, I came up with something that actually works. And a lot of that's, like, definitely lost nowadays, I will say, in the sense of lots of, like, it's fair, but, like, at the same time, just feels like it ruins part of the discovery process for me, right? Of, like, tinkering and finding out new stuff. I would say Nomad, the main problem is there's nothing that's, I will probably play Ashes a lot more once it hits into perpetual early access or perpetual alpha, whatever it's called, they want to call it. Right now it's still in the wipey phase of alphas, if I understand correctly, so I'm, like, avoiding it for now. But, like, once it gets to the point of consistency and not wiping for wiping's sake or wiping as it needs to, I'll probably start engaging with it a lot more. Yeah, this game is, yeah, it's, so you have third person, you have over the shoulder third person for aiming, so, and then we have ADSing, so yeah, it's all third person. A key thing to understand, I guess, Ertelli, in the sense that this game was originally supposed to be an art book, and the developers decided to make it an actual game. And all of the main developers, the people who started the company and started Fundog, were all of, like, an artistic background. And so you kind of need to view that game in that light. So it's their character art, it's their art of units, right? It's like they're trying to kind of display their art to you. And so there are going to be instances where things might not make the most sense, but that's because they're trying to kind of, like, be a vibe or show you art or kind of be this medium into which to show their works, right? Sort of, kind of, yeah. And so like their characters and their units would be the main two things, right? And I will say their own marketing material does not really do that well. They don't. The only reason why I know that is from secondhand, like, you know, content creators like Rello and stuff like that. When I watched the videos of this game, right, the marketing material was definitely not driving that point home. Yeah, I definitely think that Nomad, that's for sure too. Like, a lot of the companies making this type of game, this type of genre, have realized that they kind of, even Tarkov has realized this too, right? They do, if they want to cater to a larger audience, they do need to like almost break out their PvE and PvP segments, right?
Hey, this gear is delicate. I need time to sort.
And I naturally can't speak for everyone too. The way I generally feel is this, right? Is I don't mind the concept of Tarkov in regards to PvP. I don't mind if there's people who play it much more intensely. The problem is when you have an environment like that, there's no longer any integrity to the actual experiences in that environment anymore. If it could actually have integrity, I would probably play it still and play the PvP variant of it. But like the problem is it's so lacking with all of the armed tiers, the cheaters, and so on and so forth. It just constantly makes you question of, am I playing this game for this authentic experience, or am I playing it to get farmed by someone who's trying to sell like virtual money for money? Like, it's no longer about just playing a game for fun and enjoying the experience. It's more of a business now, right? It's been so commercialized. And like the PvE is a way of like trying to lean back into that authentic experience. That's not just so leaning heavily into that. Hey, Mr. Gramps. And like that applies to so much, right? It's probably going to be like that for a while, but like there is that. The developers are definitely seeing a degree of exhaustion, right? And there's been plenty of instances where lots of people are being rewarded. See ya, Charlie. Thanks for stopping by. Like, there's definitely a degree of exhaustion. People, I think, are realizing that too, right? You have games like this, you have the Expedition 33, you have Baldur's Gate 3. There are plenty of experiences that are breaking kind of the paradigm of like multiplayer shooters or multiplayer games that like kind of are this grind. Oh, it just restarts Seeker. You can't really, you will occasionally have to restart it. There's nothing bad that happens if you don't do it right. Yeah, Ubisoft's been recycling content for fucking eons now. They're so adverse to exploring new concepts for games, it's crazy. Just let's create a new game. Let's create like the 20th version of Ghost Recon, but now a third-person shooter.
Don't miss. Make every shot count.
No, like, I mean, Ubisoft had it coming for a long time now. And there's no one apparently nearby though, actually. So like that works out. There was no one down there either. I definitely would enjoy like more reacting to things you do 100% in the game, right? Like opening doors, which they kind of do, and like other things like that. Ooh. Stop that. It kind of, in a way, feels like the era of esports is kind of dying or dead, right? Like, you have maybe League. I'm so outside of, like, League circles now. I'm sure it's still doing well, but I'm not sure if it's doing well relative to itself, right? Like, growing or shrinking. It definitely feels like esports are dying down a bit, but that just might be me removed from the circles. I haven't heard of a CS2 tournament in forever. I haven't heard of like major tournaments for any games in forever. Like, that's not to say they're not having them, but like they're not as publicized as there was a period in like the mid to late 2010s where it felt like if there was a big tournament going on, you would just hear about it, right? Through like news publications or something like that, like PC Gamer or something like that. It just, they don't feel like to be front and center anymore. And it could just be that I'm removed from those circles now, but it definitely feels like it just died down in general too.
Hard run. But at least we made it.
I wonder how right, I wonder if people are just done with League too, or just MOBAs in general. All right. Sure, why not? We haven't seen like an actual night shift for like a regular map in forever. We did have Underground Cemetery, but wait, wrong map. Yeah, like it will. I'm sure it's still alive. Like, naturally, CS2 competitive is never going to go away. But, like, a certain degree, like, there was a very large period where CSGO had a very, like, pronounced competitive scene. But, like, I used to be pretty into those circles, too, right? But, like, I just hear nothing about, like, tournaments and stuff like that anymore. I mean, Counter-Strike's still popular, right? It's eternal, but like, I definitely think CS2 did it no favors. Buy some 7.62. I mean, perhaps in a way also, it's just like, I don't know. It's hard to say. It does just, it could just be that I'm older now too, right? Like, couldn't 100% be the case. It just feels like the times have changed a bit, right? And I don't want to say it's because gaming's more mainstream, but it definitely... Let me think about it some more. Like, there's definitely, like, if we look at the era of, like, say 2010s to 2020, where it felt like the esports era was taking off, right? And it was heavily publicized, at least it felt that way. And we look at it now, it definitely feels like something has changed very heavily.
Whittle them down and we can break out.
And I don't know what's yet. Is it just because of like the global political climate, perhaps? I don't know. This is not trying to bring politics into it, but it just feels like something like that has, the tone has changed. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's, I'm not even mentioning it's like, I've noticed, I follow a few StarCraft 2 creators too, right? Like Hearthstone. And like, it seems like his views are dropping off drastically also, right? Yeah, it just feels like, well, like, it's more of a sense Maha, like the way I'm kind of leaning into it, at least mentally right now, and this is just theory. This is not saying this is the case. This is just me just kind of like throwing a dart at the wall and seeing if it sticks or not. It's almost an air right with like how heavy things are politically right now and like globally politically. It's kind of hard to maybe treat a game seriously or want to use a game for like aggressive outlets of it's people want to see comfort in their games, right? In their own ways. They don't want to have that aggressive, grindy experience PvP wise, perhaps. Or that, or people just don't want to embrace it. I don't, like, this is me shooting the shit. I truly don't know, but like something in the air definitely has changed, it feels like to me. Could just be age. I don't know. Feels different now. I mean, there was plenty of that though in the 2010s though. I mean, that is that. I will say, like, there's that degree, right, where people want to chase the new, in the sense of like, your brain can only tolerate like doing the same thing over and over again before it wants something new. Burnout is real.
Every shot counts.
And there is that degree of like, there is a degree too of like, you can only chase dopamine for so long before you kind of get numb to it. Yeah, that's the problem I'm kind of getting at, Beat Bright, in the sense of, if I look at Counter-Strike Go, for example, and look at Counter-Strike 2, like, granted, there's definitely, like, you can say Counter-Strike Go had a more fluid combat, or like, it felt better, but I wouldn't say it's drastically all that different, right? But something definitely has changed. And it could be just a multitude of different factors, right, in regards to, like, the loss of community servers for CS2. They're still there, but they're much harder to find. I mean, sports go through lulls too. There's people who pick up and like drop sports. And I mean, like, it's hard to compare to when you look at proportions of populations. Like, if you think of everyone in the world and the sports they watch, and like you go to year, you might not see much change at all. But like, you can kind of say the same thing about esports too. Like, there are still thousands, like hundreds of thousands of people still playing CS2 daily, right? But it definitely feels like the esports side of it, the very competitive side of it, has gone very unnoticed. I mean, there's periods too where I used to watch much more American football than I do now. I mainly only watch hockey now, to be honest. But like, there was definitely periods where I watched American football, but I was like, I don't really have time to watch more than one sport, so I'm gonna go over to one I prefer watching more. I cannot stress enough. I don't mind American football. I like the organization of American football. It is truly a sport for like every type of person, almost, as long as you, I mean, it's not great for small people or short people, but they're fucked by every sport. On a level, American football does a good job of including a lot of body types, right? Like, you have just your regular athletes, but you also have like big omen, right? And you can have your small running backs. And like, that is a downside of hockey, as it does kind of stratify or kind of force a certain body type. Not necessarily 100%, but like, there is a very standardized version of like an American or a hockey player, right? As opposed to a footballer. Talking about sports now. Unfortunately, might not have a lot of sporters in chat, especially for American football. But no, I don't really watch American football anymore. It just, while I enjoy it for that aspect, it's just too slow for me. It more feels like a social medium as opposed to an actual sport to like enjoy watching at a high level, right? I just like it, Abu, in the sense that like it's a sport that accommodates different types of people, right? Which kind of does, like, it is a blue collar sport, or at least it started out as a blue collar sport, right? So it makes a lot of sense in that capacity. Yeah, I keep having to say American football, but like I drop the American ever so often. I mean, regular football, like, you know, regular standard football, right? Think of the body types that kind of promotes, right? Like, there's not a lot of diversity, I would think, in like a regular football. If you're a bigger frame guy, you're kind of shit out of luck for football, I would imagine. Why don't you guys have rugby? So rugby works instead. Rugby really is just like American football on crack, though. If I was to watch a game like football again, it'd probably just be rugby, to be honest.
This is it. We decide what happens next.
Hey guys, how's it going? Having fun? Murdering some Europans? Sir, why are you charging toward them? That seems like a mistake. I just think generally I prefer faster paced sports. It's so refreshing. So there are only if you compare like American football to like NHL hockey, the amount of commercial breaks between the two is astronomical. And like, if you go to overtime, like, after a certain period, if you're in the third period or if you're overtime in a hockey game, there is no commercials. It's just all gas. Like, they're like, we are trying to get this shit done. There are no more commercials.
Well, we're still here. Let's count for something.
And that is so refreshing and nice. And it actually works in the sense of like, during the regular periods of hockey, those commercial breaks serve as rest periods. So when it gets to like OT or like late in the third period when there's no commercial breaks anymore, it's like you're not getting a break anymore. Like, you are gonna get gassed. No breaks. Game need to be finished. Oh, well, I forgot about you. I'll take 2 out of 3 though. All right, what map? We still haven't gotten a night shift yet. Let's give Stairway one more shot. And let's start from the top too. Let's talk to Europa real quick. Hey Grillo, how would you like... How do these only sell for 9K? My god. There we go. All right. This feels like a mistake, but what is what it is. Nope, no night shift. Sad days.
Today is the day.
Today is not the day. It's not a night shift. Is my hand on the right thing? I guess it is. I have no idea.
Threat removal.
Did I win? You're not aggro. You're not allowed to do that. I kind of feel like Yoruska would probably have some 6 sports, right? Like they would use as like a way of testing their units. If Yoruska actually has control of like the jungles of Africa, if they still exist, I could definitely see them doing the most dangerous game type shit down there.
Sentience dropped.
No, leave me alone.
Delete them.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a glitch right now where if you like have loadouts in certain characters and switch over to Scav Girl, like you can occasionally still keep them. I mean, there definitely can be cases where like maybe Eurasia has money games, like kind of like, yeah, like sports games for monies, but yeah. And I'm sure there's fighting too, like fighting rings in Europa.
Dumping. Targets.
I wonder why the explosions just don't proc sometimes. Is it like terrain in the way? Like right there, like you feel like that should probably kill that guy. It's just not doing splash damage for some reason. But then it did it there on the wrong side of the sandbags. Hey, what the hell? He was playing PUBG.
We have the munitions to remove
I mean, they can bring it back, right? Bring back the extraction or the battle royale. So many bags of trash.
Under fire from multiple vectors. Seek cover immediately.
All right, no stealth kill confirmed. I tried. No petting dog, no stealth kills. Developers hate Gunhead. No healing too. No healing, no reviving, no stealth kills, no petting the dog. Why does Fun Dog hate Gunhead so much?
We have the munitions to remove the threat.
Here they come, I can see them. My saviors. Oh, so close. Did they go through it? Come on. I think that's going through it. Yeah, it's going through it.
The enemy is massing for an attack.
Why you do this? Hey.
Crush. Objective secured. Minimal casualties.
Minimal 22 for 2 MREs. All right, that's it for today, guys. I will see you guys on Friday from community stream. We'll have a public lobby, so if you want to come in, maybe use the railgun here and there, that'll be Friday. Other than that, new video will be in the works. I'll probably be out middle to late next week. We'll see. I'll keep you guys updated. Other than that, I will see you guys on Friday. Have a good one, and bye all.